came to you with a hurt leg and a bad toe, and you cut off my whole motherfucking leg?
Hello, black hole. See this brother winning, man. Hey, hey, look, what is your win, babe? What is your win, babe? What is your win, babe? Kansas City.
Well, hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share the Facebook, subscribe, and visit Em0ti0nal.com. I know you like, Nay, why you don't have a shirt on? Because I got my sports bra on, okay? And right now I'm going through hot flashes, and I'm not doing it. Take me as I am, because I love you as you are. And if you are not already a part of our book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube, and for a small monthly fee of $5. You babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Y'all, this is the end. This was something we hadn't anticipated, especially at this stage of life. Lawrence was just 59 years old. As a group, we were still very much in demand and counted on performing for many years to come. By then, the sad reality of losing Lawrence had started to sink in. The career high we should have felt when we learned in 1997 that the Four Tops were awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame didn't really register. A month later, I was in Atlanta celebrating my daughter Far's graduation from Spelman College. My joy overflowed watching her receive her diploma among a sea of other beautiful young women I knew were bound for great things. I couldn't help but think of my daughter Kai, who also attended Spelman years before, but dropped out. Since high school, she had concealed a drinking problem from her mother and me. I wish I had been able to save her from her downward spiral. Many American families have suffered the heartbreaking loss of a loved one with a drug or alcohol problem that they just can't kick. Looking back, I can think of all the things I could have done. If only you can go back and fix your mistakes on to Jesus. Soon the Tops were hard at work performing on the road, trying to make do with just 3 members of the group, in an act that required 4 voices. Whenever I was in town, I'd go to the hospital and give Lawrence his share of our earnings. Absolutely integral. Is that a word, integral? Okay, y'all know what I'm talking about. It brightened his mood to hear about what was happening with the group, but I could tell he wasn't feeling great. The cancer had spread to his bladder and other parts of his body. Finally, they said they'd done everything they could do to try to control it, but it was too far gone. And one day in June 1997, he just eased on out. In the days that followed Lawrence's funeral, we were lost. We talked about what we were going to do business-wise. Should we just go ahead and quit? We'd always said if one of us wasn't there, none of us could be there. But somehow, after days of talking, hugging, and working through our grief, we decided to carry on. It was then that we decided that no matter what, we weren't going to put anyone in Lawrence's spot, or change our name to the 3 Tops, or simply the Tops, which our agents and managers urged us to do. Remember when we was doing the Tony Turner TT book? I forget the name of the book, but he was the son or the godson of David Ruffin. He had explained in the book that David Ruffin had made a suggestion to Levi that they change the name because he wanted everybody to be on board with the lead singer and the group, like Diana Ross and the Supremes, what is that? Martha Reeves and the Vandal, whatever it is, right? But he wanted everybody to be on board with it. So then he would have a leg to stand on when he went to Barry. Levi told him flat out, no, what am I supposed to do? Levi Stubbs and the Three Tops? No, changing the name has been an issue for the Tops for a while. But this is a different kind of group. It's a lot of groups out there that say, oh, we're like sisters, we're like brothers, this is my family, And really and truly, they do not have the integrity that the Four Tops have had. These boys are really like brothers. Them other people, you know who else is like brothers? The New Edition. I never heard anything about them saying anything about Ralph Tresvant and the New Edition. Never. I need y'all to get it together, though. I really do. I need you to get it together and get that money. Okay, because you know us old ass hags want to see you sing together, okay, with the Bobby and the Johnny. It took about a year or so before we started getting worried doing our show with just 3 voices. Sometimes we used one of the musicians, our conductor, to sing the 4th part. It gave us some ease vocally, but we still felt like there was something missing on stage. After a while, Levi and I got to talking about the need for another guy. No one could ever fill Lawrence's shoes, but maybe they could fill the empty space. I do dig this because it's not just about replacing that person. It's about the wear on your voices. So I get that. Now, you're supposed to be singing 4-part harmonies, and it's 3 of y'all. I don't even know if that's possible. That's the thing y'all singers going to have to get down in the comments and tell me, but I don't know. The Temptations had just released a singer, Theo Peoples, the baritone who had replaced Richard Street, originally the Paul Williams spot back in the day. The Temptations had cycled through a number of replacements for the original members. Dookie, you could have threw so much shade in there. We felt that Theo would be a good fit for a top. He was a great group singer and could sing harmonies and lead too. I could tell that Levi was getting tired, and I had to confess, I was too. Lawrence's passing was like a wake-up call. We needed to take better care of our bodies, not push our limits. Hell yeah, because y'all about 60 years old. I mean, goddamn, I'm 50 and I know I be pushing the limits cleaning this house. And this ain't nothing but 3,000 square feet, okay? This house is big as shiz. And every night when I'm looking at my wife while she sleep and snore, her and the dog sleeping and snoring together, I look at my wife like, we decided to reach out to Theo about joining us to sing background and lead now and then to give Levi a break. It was at an outdoor amphitheater in North Carolina when we were booked for 3 nights with the Beach Boys that Levi couldn't go on. His legs were weak and his voice was straining. Prior to our performances that afternoon, he called me to his room sounding really bad. Duke, I can't go on. I can't take another step. I can't sing another note. Sorry, man, I just can't do it. I'm tired, Levi said. Flat out, no motivation, nothing. With a heavy heart, like it or not, I knew it was time to give Theo the football. I told Levi what the plan was, and he agreed. With that solved, Theo replacing Levi, we still needed another voice. Ronnie McNear, who we'd hired as a backup for our piano player, could also sing. We had also instructed him to prepare vocals in case we needed him one day. That day had come. Ronnie, I said to him, you're going to have to be a top starting tonight. In the winter of 1999, President Clinton invited us to perform at a holiday party as he was leaving office after his 2nd term. We considered him a friend, having performed at the Arkansas governor's mansion in the beginning of his political career. Twice when he was president, we sang at his birthday celebration at the White House. He told us that we were his favorite Motown act, and he even accompanied us on his saxophone one time. Oh, very sweet. When Levi heard that Clinton wanted us to perform again, he said, Duke, let's make this motherfucker happy. It made me happy that Levi felt good enough to sing. Think you can make it? I asked hopefully. I'm going to make it, man. He said, I'm not going to miss this. And what better place to perform your last show than at the White House? Now, Obi and I were the last of the top still performing. Then Obi stubbed his toe real bad. At least that's what we thought it was. After about a week, it started to go black and the pain shot up his leg. He complained to me that he could barely keep up the pace on stage, so we brought in the doctors. While the Tops were performing at a big Christmas party for a prominent Detroit attorney, Jeffrey Figure, Obi passed out in the middle of the show. A few weeks later, Obi complained about pain in his toe and leg. A doctor examined him, but he never revealed what his condition was. Obi returned to work, but soon the pain became too excruciating. Obi was admitted to a hospital, and this doctor confirmed his diagnosis. He had gangrene and might have to have his leg removed. After pitching a fit, ranting and raving, the surgery was performed. As soon as Obi came to, he wanted to get up and get out. Obi, you don't have a leg, man. Someone broke it to him. High on morphine and painkillers, he really lost his mind, cursing the doctor out. Motherfucker, I came to you with a hurt leg and a bad toe, and you cut off my whole motherfucking leg? He called me to come down to the hospital and get him out. Obi made the decision to have no more surgeries. Look, okay, we got a problem here. I don't want to be cut on no more. This is the selfishness of human beings. I'm telling you, when my grandmother decided no more cutting, I'm done. My aunt did the same thing. She just was like, I don't want no more surgeries. I'm done. That is the most heartbreakingest thing, because you want them to fight. You be like, no, auntie, please. Please, auntie, stay with me, please. But you know it's so selfish of you to ask the person that you love to stay here just for you when they have already let go. I was at breakfast and I got a phone call. Come to the hospital. Obi just passed away. I jumped up in shock, crying. I rushed over, and sure enough, he was gone. It happened that fast. With Obi gone, I was faced with the difficult agenda of reinventing the Tops, not knowing Obi's absence would be permanent. Lawrence Jr. had been temporarily singing in his spot since he was admitted to the hospital. Now was also the time I give Theo Peoples his departing letter. I explained, like I had since the beginning, that he sounded too much like a temptation. I'd been urging him all along to try to sing more natural. His reply was always, I can't do it no better than this. I guess he really was doing his best. Still, I brought in Harold Spike Barnhart to sing Levi's part. Spike had a strong voice, a very soulful, straight pop kind of voice. He could throw in a little harsh, raw quality when needed. Even so, no one could ever replicate Levi's voice. But this lineup kept the group going, especially during the difficult transition period when all I wanted to do was grieve my sick and departed brothers. Losing Lawrence and Obi devastated me, but having Levi still alive was my greatest consolation. When Levi passed in 2008, I thought I had been hit hard before. But this time it crushed me. Nothing could have prepared me. He had a series of strokes, and it was difficult for him to even talk. Still, I'd sit with him and have conversations, me doing all the chatting, him trying to communicate. With Levi gone, it was the first time in my life that I felt truly alone. I was disappointed that we'd never won a Grammy. One great song or another had always beaten us out, which was okay then. There was always tomorrow. Now, in the evening of my career, I didn't see a chance of ever getting one. We achieved every one of the things we aspired to do in the business. It's the one thing that slipped away from us. Don't worry about it, Dad, Dula reassured me. Your career has been monumental. People have adored you all these years. You've been inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Rolling Stone named you in the 100 greatest artists of all time. Don't let it bug you. 2 days later, the phone rang. Duke Fakir? Yes. This is Em0ti0nal, president of the Recording Academy. You've just been selected for the Academy's highest honor, a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. Tears started rolling down my face. It was the little hole that was missing. Not that I wasn't grateful for what we already had. You really mean it? I said. Yes, I'll send you the information about coming to Hollywood for this show. Having a Grammy for a hit record or two would have been great, but the Lifetime Achievement Award means so much more. It covers many Grammys. At this stage in my career, I take it all in stride, the highs and the lows. I've been going since 1954, and the journey hasn't always been smooth. We've definitely had a few bumps in the road, but when asked about the pitfalls, it's hard to even remember them. The highs are what shine through. The only pitfall I see is that the three of them are not here with me. Now, God damn, I didn't know that shit was going to get emotional towards the end, y'all. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and visit Em0ti0nal.com. Now remember this. The same people that you meet on the way up will always be the same people that you meet on the way down. Naysayers, my patron loves you, babies. Have a good one. Man, love the people while they're here, y'all.